I am so excited to speak with you today about Real Talk because it is time for the church to take the lead with difficult conversations and change the narrative of what's happening in our world. We are having pastor after pastor, scandal after scandal, platform falling, and you know what? The world is watching. I feel like my last 3 decades have prepared me for such a time as this. The 20s I spent in corporate America, and I watched as nothing was hidden. There was freedom in the unsaved. There was debauchery, defilement. There was almost a pride about who was the most off. Nothing was really hidden, and it was actually refreshing in an odd sort of way. I moved from there to leadership in a megachurch. I was an area pastor at Willow Creek Community Church, where one of the very first small groups I led back in the day was Who You Are When No One's Looking by Bill Hybels. I was at that church since I was 11. The difference is there were some undercurrents of what you know might be happening, and no one really spoke to it. There was the spirit of seduction, the spirit of power, control, all sorts of things. And don't get me wrong, I love Bill Hybels, and I really believe that we have lost some of the basic tenets of our church. We've lost some of the basic tenets of biblical life in the church and as leaders. In my last 10 years, I ran an anti-sex trafficking organization where countless of the thousands of girls had sexual abuse in their background, and it occurred at the hands of somebody in a church leadership role. Donors would come to me not realizing why they were drawn to the ministry I was running, and it would be true confessional. They'd never told anybody what happened to them. What we know statistically, the church is matching the world in divorce, in affairs, in abuse, domestic, sexual, in abortion, you name it. We are no different than the world, except we're not talking about it. We're suppressing it. We're not letting that last 2% come forward, and that last 2% is what the enemy is after right now. It's time to reinstate the basics and a new safe shield for your entire congregation to step into Real Talk, lead the narrative, not allow the enemy to take any more, but to push back and reclaim the lead in this world. I'm excited to share with you about this catalytic new movement to usher into your church of communication and language, kindergarten through leadership. We walk you through it. It's such an easy thing to implement to protect you, to guard you as a leader, guard your ministry, guard your legacy, change the generational patterns. It begins with you, and it begins with Real Talk. I look forward to speaking with you and sharing more.